Hi, I'm Grant Stephen.
And I'm Chris Bernier.
And we're the two investment guys. This week, Chris and I want to talk a little bit more about some of the market dynamics. First of all, Chris, if we look at January, it was a strong month. We talked a little bit about the January effect. February, not so much. February, we've seen the old two steps forward, two back type of activity in the market. And really, the market is sort of trying to determine what direction comes next. What are they worried about right now? One of the things, Chris, that you and I picked up on is, the volatility's back. And January was a pretty good month just building forward and stepping up. And now we're back to, some pretty peak and valley type of days. Wanted to touch on some of the issues that it is worrying about.
Sure. We're just wrapping up the fourth quarter 2012 earnings reporting for the S&P 500 right now. And by and large, about 68% of companies have been beating analyst estimates. But the common theme has been twofold. One is top line revenue growth has been slowing. And secondly, we've seen the outlook given by many companies to be a little bit softer expectations for this year.
Yeah, so again, we're talking about earnings growth, just the pace of growth has slowed a little bit. One of the other things that the market continues to gnaw on a little bit is China and the skepticism around whether there is a recovery there, whether the stimulus is working, and whether the data points that everyone looks at are actually accurate. So, in Canada, we're back to looking at that because we're a resource-based country. What's happening in China, that's another thing to worry about.
That's right. And another thing that we watch closely is unemployment numbers. Canada's been sitting around 7%. The U.S. ticked up a little bit last time, just under 8%. But the trends have still been positive, but not gaining enough jobs month to month to really make a dent in that unemployment rate. So that's another key factor to keep a watch on.
Yeah. Chris, the Canadian stock market has a very severe bias towards energy and materials. So, we've experienced more volatility in the Canadian market than many other major markets around the world, and that's why. And when we talk a little bit about Italy in the global context, that election that we had over there very recently appears to have solved nothing.
Yeah, it looks like it's a U.S. situation with gridlock. So what should somebody be doing with their portfolio right now? Well, we've talked a little bit about, first of all, meeting with your advisor, reviewing positions, looking at the diversification and balance in the portfolio, and in particular looking at the fixed income component in the portfolio, make sure it's appropriately set up given the current environment that we're in. I want to thank you again for your questions and comments. Please keep them coming and contact Grant and I at twoinvestmentguys.com.
Join us next time. Chris and I are going to continue our discussion around market dynamics. So until then, I'm Grant.
And I'm Chris.
And we're the two investment guys.